Summer's here, and that means kids will have more hours at home and around the pool. Today, joining me is Captain Todd Keller of the Phoenix Fire Department to talk about water safety. And I want to jump right into this because we've already seen a couple of tragedies happen already with toddlers. And today we're going to talk about, of course, young kids and adults around the water. But let's get into water safety and why we have to wait until something happens to start talking about it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we don't have to. Okay, so luckily in Arizona, we can usually swim year-round, heated pools and stuff like that. But you're right, it usually does take a tragedy for us to realize, hey, we need to get our water safety messages. And at that time, it is too late.
Okay. All right, let's get into some water safety tips. The first one that I think everyone has to realize is the first line of defense, swim lessons. Swim lessons, right?
Absolutely. Swim lessons, CPR. The City of Phoenix right now is offering swim lessons through their aquatic centers for $15. CPR is also being offered. I can't tell you how imperative it is to learn CPR. A lot of times before we get on scene, CPR was initiated. That could be the meaning between life and death.
Yeah. Although when we talk about swim lessons, not just for kids, for adults, because we're seeing that, I mean, some of these tragedies happen because the adult doesn't know how to swim or they're scared of water in a way, and that's important, am I right?
Yeah, swim lessons for everyone. I can tell you that last year we had more adult drownings than we did child drowning. So absolutely, these swim lessons are for all ages.
Yeah. Okay. The next defense is having a barrier around the pool. That's number two. What people need to start looking at, am I right?
Absolutely. So you said it's number two. The most important thing that we can get across is there is no replace for proper adult supervision. Adult supervision is your number one. Number two, three, four, we can talk about barriers, pool fences. Having a pool no less than 5 feet with a self-latching gate is what you need.
Oh, all right, then let's go back to, you said about, of course, supervision.
Yes.
We got pool parties, graduation going on. The big problem I have is that Todd, Todd was watching the kid, or this person was watching the kid, and you got to actually have someone watching the kids, am I right?
Have a designated child watcher, but I can tell you, we do see drownings at these large gatherings. It is everyone's responsibility to be watching their kids around water. We have a lot of great tips on phoenix.gov/fire that do talk about large gatherings, because drownings do happen during parties also.
Yeah. Another thing we were talking about, and that is drowning isn't like in the movies or on TV. I just did an interview early this morning about drowning is silent. Everyone thinks, you know, that they don't hear the kids, so everything should be okay. But if you don't hear the kids screaming and playing in the pool, something's wrong, am I right?
You couldn't have said it more perfectly. If you don't hear something, something is going on. A couple years ago when our fire chief, Mike Duran, came in office, he started a campaign called Drowning Zero. Our goal is to have 0 drownings throughout the year. It's so imperative that you watch your children around water.
Yeah. Okay, we talked about the barriers. Door locks. As we know, kids are getting smart. They know how to, you know, open those doors. So it's time to start putting some latches on them, all right?
Self-closing, Arcadia door, self-latching. One thing that we like to talk about is that don't keep tables and chairs next to those pool barriers, your 5 feet fences, because kids will push those against it, climb on them, and get over. A lot of people don't think about that.
Yeah. The other thing too is that I have friends that now check after the landscapers, because landscapers leave the gate propped open because they're going in and out, and they walk off and they leave it there, and that's something that you need to start checking too, right?
Absolutely. After you do have any kind of maintenance work on your house, whether it's landscapers or any kind of construction, look at those gates. Make sure you do have a self-closing gate with the latch on the top that will self-latch.
So, the other thing too is having 911 nearby. Also, it's kind of interesting. I do have a friend who has directions to the house by their pool.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great tip. So what we can tell you about activating the 911 system, if you are experiencing a drowning, try to get the patient out of the pool. Immediately call 911 and start CPR. If you do not know CPR, our dispatchers will instruct you step by step on how to do it. That's why it's so imperative to learn CPR.
Yeah, and the directions, so that way you can direct someone, has a way to direct someone to the house, because it's usually someone's new to the house and not knowing the neighborhood, and that's so important. But the big part is right now, of course, Captain, is not letting it happen. Am I right?
Absolutely. This is 100% preventable, and it's everyone's responsibility to watch your kids around water.
I like it. Captain, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
And you can find out more information on the CW7AZ.com's website. about pool safety and everything that Captain and I talked about, and find out more about keeping your kids safe around pools.